Hello, my gracious friends. I'm saying that because I know it is the new year. I'm still talking about Christmas books. I read my 260 books, all the books that I have ready to go for next year, but we'll see what happens and I'll just go with the flow. Let's just start with one that's not a Christmas book, which is Born of Gilded Mountain. This is the one that won the Christie Award for this year. If you don't know what the Christie Award is, it has to do with the book Christie that was written in the 70s that is on my 2026 list to read that talks about faith in some form, and it has really great storytelling. So for 2025, one of the winners, because they have different categories, was this book. There were 11 books that won this year. This is about a woman that had been a movie star, a very well-known lady. Obviously it's fiction, so she's not a real movie star that existed. And this is set in the late 40s, and her pen pal's name is Dusty. She really loved learning about where Dusty had lived. And the two of them had a great connection. Such a deep friendship, best friends. But then something happened where they drifted apart, they lost touch, and they both didn't know what happened. The actress, she had a situation that happened that she's kind of running from, not completely, but she goes to the village, the town in Colorado that her friend kept talking to her about, and she buys a home there. She decides that she's going to go back to her real name instead of her stage name. So while she is there, she learns a lot about the people there, and there is a tale of gold existing. And there is a certain engine that went missing that maybe has clues. So she goes on this adventure and she is able to find her friend along the way. And it's just really, really great to read a book about friendship. I haven't in a while, and I needed that. And I'm someone that has pen pals. I love writing to people, so I understand that connection that you get with people. I have it with certain pen pals I've had for years. It was a really beautiful story. Like, if you were to read some of the lines throughout this, there is just so much beauty. It's so fluid, and I just really thought the way it was written, it just captured my heart in different forms. So it was very lovely. I enjoyed the story. The way they get to know the people in the town too, it's just very good. It's charming, and I needed some charm for the end of the year, on top of all the Christmas stuff. That being said, Christmas at the Amish Market. This was a very strange tale at times. This is about a couple. They've been together for a few years. They don't really have a deep connection. Like, they don't spend enough time together, but they enjoy each other. They think they're attractive. The guy that works at the Amish Market, his name is Wesley, and he's running his dad's shop while his dad is away. Wesley is taking care of the shop, and his girlfriend, Liesel, she doesn't really understand that. She's like, I want to spend more time with you. He's like, I can't right now. I'm running this place and I'm really overwhelmed. She feels kind of bad for him. She's trying to be understanding, and she thinks, well, maybe my Aunt Jenny can work there. Now, her Aunt Jenny is only 26 years old. She herself is 22, Liesel, and Wesley is 26. But what's funny is Liesel, she spends so much time at this widower's house, and his 4-year-old daughter's so attached to her. She does cleaning for him and all this other stuff that Roland, the widower, he's starting to get feelings for her, but he's like, I gotta back away because she is taken. Aunt Jenny comes and starts working for Wesley, and they form a connection. So you have these people that are starting to learn a bit about one another, and they're realizing that maybe God has someone else in mind for them. So yeah, it was very fascinating to have not like a love triangle, but a love quadrilateral. I don't know. I liked it though. It was very cute. Then there was The Christmas Ring. I keep hearing about this. I think the movie comes out today on Hallmark. I don't know. I've got to check that. It's supposed to come out. I know it was like in theaters or something. I don't really know much about it. I didn't look into it, but there is a movie version. But The Wedding Ring, I had a hard time with it for one specific reason. As a minimalist, I don't really have that sentimental feeling towards physical items. This is about this ring that's been passed on for generations. The main character, her husband was in the military. He has passed. She has this ring. She's very close to her daughter. They start hanging out at this ski slope. The ring goes missing, and now they need to find this ring. Like, what happened to it? They don't know. They put out rewards. They're like willing to pay for this. She thinks it's costume jewelry, so she's kind of like, you know, I need this ring. She's wearing it all the time, so you know it matters if she's wearing it. So now years pass, and her daughter's now going into college. She's like kind of on her own, and she meets this man. He's very sweet, and he tries to help her because he has a shop with his father that he helps run, where they have lots of old antiques and such. The two of them are forming a bond. So this is about a mother-daughter relationship, but also trying to move forward after a death of a loved one. It was very cute. I could see how this would be a very nice movie. So we'll see if I like it or not when I watch it. Let It Glow was one that I meant to read last year, and I had it on hold in my library, just like forgot about me or something like that, because when Christmas was over, I saw that it was on the bookshelf in the news section, in the kids section, and I was like, I still have this marked as hold. Why don't I have it? It had already been like the New Year. So I was like, I'll read it later in this Christmas time. So I finally got it now. It was really cute. So it's a middle grade story about these two girls. They were adopted. It's got that Parent Trap vibe. Now, The Parent Trap from 1961 is one of my favorite movies of all time. That got me. So you have one girl, she's growing up in a family where her mother's side is Jewish, but not practicing. And she kind of is like, hey, aren't we Jewish? Shouldn't we be celebrating Hanukkah? So she wants to celebrate Hanukkah. Her grandmother is like, oh, I'll help out because her grandmother's Jewish. Her grandmother is in a facility for the elderly. She likes it there. It's helpful. And she's trying to help her granddaughter say, yes, you're Jewish, even though she was adopted. She's like, am I? So she's having that little like, well, am I really, like an identity type of situation? She's only 12. But then when at the facility, there is also this other girl, and her grandfather is thinking about going to the elderly home, but he's not sure. And there's a pageant going on. The one girl, she really wants to sing a song that will help with Hanukkah because they're all Christmas songs. And she's like, well, I'm Jewish. I need to do a Hanukkah song. And then she bumps into this girl who looks just like her, and she celebrates Christmas. So the two of them are like, hey, let's do a switcheroony so we could understand one another's, even though the one wants to know about Hanukkah. So that was a little weird to me because it's like, if you want to know about Hanukkah so much, why are you now going to want to know about Christmas? Anyway, they do this switch. They're getting to know one another. They're very excited, and they are like, we have to be sisters. We're identical and we're both adopted. I thought it was just very sweet. It's a good holiday book to read for kids and to learn about different traditions that are held. I'm glad I finally got to it. A Christmas Courtship. Last book review, I talked about the first book, and then there's a second book that I haven't read yet, and now this is the third book. I felt like there might have just been one little thing that I missed out on understanding, but I think that I could follow it because it was just briefly touched up on. I got a tiny spoiler. The Berlin Bookmobile series, it's set in Berlin, Pennsylvania. There's a woman that runs the bookmobile. She's older, and she has people that come in and check out books. This follows the story of a woman who is a widow. It's like all these stories that I've been reading lately are about widows or something like that. Like not all of them, but a lot of them. So this is a widow. She's been raising 3 kids on her own. Her husband wasn't the greatest person. So she's kind of like moved forward a bit because now she's not being mistreated, and 2 of her kids also feel like they're free while the youngest had an attachment to their father. So they're all dealing with it in different ways. She has this man that is a neighbor who is a handyman. She wants him to build a room in the barn for her son, and she wants him to have a new bed because he's getting way too tall for the one he has. Her son Kale, he has had this crush on this one girl for quite a while. She doesn't really think all that great about her looks because she feels she's fat. She's like, I don't think I'm likable because I'm not as pretty as the other girls. But he's always had a thing for her, and he wants to take her out. But when he goes out with her at a meeting with a lot of other kids, and they get the girl in trouble. And so he's been a really hard worker, and he works for her parents. And because he was supposed to take care of her and something happened, he is mistreated by the family. And so it's a story about love and trying to deal with that. But you know what I loved? Even though there were these hardships and the parents not communicating right, there was so much great understanding afterwards. The parents trying to listen, the parents trying to be understanding. I thought that it was really well done. And I feel like I don't get that a lot when I read a lot of Amish stories. They're kind of like they put their foot down and don't listen to their kids about their side of things, or, you know, something like that. And this was like, okay, they put their foot down for a bit, but then they started to listen. And I appreciated that. That was really nice. And this is all set around Christmas time and the last Christmas book. And I promise this is the last one because now I'm going to be going into the winter list that I have and other books for 2026. Whew, and what a way to end it. Whew. God rest ye merry soldiers. This I got from the little library. It was nice. It was sad as can be though, because this is about a lot of the soldiers during the Civil War and what they experienced during Christmas time when they would write to their families. Like there was even one letter where he said like, it didn't feel like Christmas at all. You know, Christmas wasn't a big deal in the US at that point. It was like some people celebrated it. It wasn't until after after this, that Christmas had a spike with lots of people celebrating it and became an official holiday in the US after Civil War, but not shortly after. So it was very interesting to learn about soldiers, what they dealt with in battles, and it was gruesome. I mean, all wars are disgusting to me, and it was just depressing because you hear these stories, like there's the Union and the Confederates, how someone might have treated someone because they wanted to go visit their mom, and how that person was treated. Devastating to learn some of these stories, but some of them were also very sweet to see how, even though they were enemies, sometimes they would help one another, or, you know, they would sing together on the lines right before battle, which I've heard about that happening in World War I. It's very interesting that it happened even in the Civil War. This was a nice pick that I got for free, so I liked that. I hope that people watch this video because my last Christmas review was after Christmas, even though I reviewed them before Christmas, but I posted after Christmas and it didn't really get much attention. So this one probably won't either, and that is okay. I just like to put my reviews out there for people to know this is what I read in case you want to add any of these to your TBR pile. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great new year. Bye.